Welcome back to Nightingale's Motorcycle Restorers, Metal Finishers and TLRs. Right, what we're going to do is go through a few things of the bike we're still going through to build for a customer. And we've got the hubs in. The reason I'm jumping the queue on this one a little bit is he's taken the wheels to a wheel builder, our wheel builder we use, dismantled them. I've got the hubs back and the sprocket. I'm just going to go through a few things to check for. We had a problem with that sprocket sitting on the hub. We might do a bit of real-time blasting these back, but a few things first, just what to check for, and we'll update you as we go along with this, because I might get some taken back and let you see what I get up to, especially on these sprockets and the inserts. Okay, so I've got some questions. Then I try to answer everyone back, but there's not that many. But if you bother to send me an email, then it's good. So the first one, and I'll do one and then I'll do something in the workshop, is, am I going to do Telford show? Now, I get asked this a lot for some strange reason. I don't know why. I guess it's just because of TLRs. So what happens is that puts you in a funny bracket, because I have actually got somebody who wants one for dad and maybe two sons. So one would be extra, the big bling, and the two would be like, you know, coming to this version or a bit down. And when I talk about versions, my engines are all the same. The standard format from everything brand new, my head's on them, and the carburettor running how we'd do it, and the ignition, we're happy. So you're not buying a bike and then having to think about the engine modifications. We're happy with that. We've done it. The only tweaks we would make to modifications to the exhaust system, which is critical as well. So when you start doing this and doing shows, the chances of having a man coming along and going, well, I want aluminium swinging arm, well, to be made, and the ones we've looked at with the cutouts in, they're 1,100 quid. If you start looking at internal forks past the ones we kind of do a bit of a tweak to, you're looking at a lot of money, 450 quid. Start looking at different rear springs and shockers, different hubs. So these are, where would you stop? Because the slice of the cake is only this much anyway for what we're doing here. We're not selling these out, we're not selling any of this. We just stock engine parts. Our Velocity Pro parts, which is we're going to tell you something on that, because that's getting a few things are happening with that for the better. So that's it. So really, no, but for all them who do, fantastic. You know, it's one of them things that I don't wake up here and you know, walk out in the workshop and there's a queue of TLR owners all waving at me. But I do get a lot of customers for TLRs. My business is away from here, not in Scarborough, North Yorkshire. So that's pretty good. Appreciate that, because it does come off the YouTube channel, a little bit of it, which is fantastic. So no, that's the first kind of question. No, because we can cover everything, stock all the engine bits, and hopefully when I get more the RC1, the Velocity Pro stuff, the etching, which I'm doing more to show people if you buy one of these. So that's my whole idea with it, is building a bespoke bike, because everyone's different and everyone's got a different budget. So let's get onto this hub first. So it's come back in, we'll just get a bit closer to it and just see what we can do here. So take them back to the hubs. Now obviously at this point I'm going to take these back and ceramic coat them in probably a glacier. So they have to be prepped, gassed out, and just degreased, common sense, acetoned out. So what I'd say to everyone, even at home, remember this video's for people who are restoring, but why it helps you as well is we're so easy, if you're stripping a project down, to just rave it down in a box and throw it in one corner when you come back to it. So just photograph silly things like this. So where it is now, this arm, click it over. Then when we click the shoes off, we're at a point where you can actually see then the cam. So take a picture of that and take a picture where the cam is. And then when you come back to it and you go, right, back plates, front plates, you know where it is. Same with that one. Over, straight round, picture of the cam. So when you pick it back up and you put your shoes on, you know where you're at. It's little things. So we're taking this off, you see. So my idea is talking to the customer, what we're working on. Obviously we'll have new shoes. What I've done, I've just assessed it on the bearings, because it's not all about, you know, while you say, well, while it's down, why don't you kick some new bearings in? I've checked them on the shafts. They're fantastic. The seals are good. We maybe have one seal which would replace, which we stock all them. So we'll take care to mask them up, degrease them all. There's a little drive in there from the old speedo drive. We just block that with a bung, pack this out, and then take these out. Now, because they're in that colour, I think what we'll do is, and hopefully I'll get these done today to show you, is I'll do them with ultrafine walnut, and then I'll vapor blast them so they look like brand new. We'll take these back to show you the finish, getting ready for prepping. Same with the backup. Little telltale signs, you know, where the spoke pull, you sometimes see the shadow marks, see you? Shadow marks, not so much on these, but when you get on big machinery and the pulling, same when we mask everything off, we're just very gentle around the eyes of the spokes and that. Again, mask all this off, and a quick check inside the hub itself. No tram lines in it. It looks really good, this. So a little bit of shaping up when you put the new shoes in, because obviously most people moaning about hub brakes, but again, if you chamfer the shoe to match the hub, then you'll have a good brake. Don't just assume you're putting a shoe inside a hub. You know, I put you know, like a receipt book, you know, the transfer paper, the ink paper, I just wet it, put it in, tap them a few times, take it out, and when I've got the print, it might be missing there, I chamfer the shoe, so I've got, you know, 99% of the shoe working in the hub. Just putting a new set of shoes in, you might be losing it. That's if they've been loads and loads of miles. I don't think this bike's done a lot because of that. So we'll go on to this play, because when I showed you the wheel, if you saw the last video, there's a common fault on TLRs, and I'll just explain it to you again, is this excessive play in the sprocket to the hub. Okay, so the first thing is this excessive play. So the studs which go through the sprocket, which then go into the hub assembly, that's like a cush drive, that, and that's what you get in there. So that's what's in there, right? That's it. Now there's a couple of things to watch here. I'm more interested in a few things that catch you out a bit here. There's left to right, the side play, but on this one, so on the cush drive rubbers, meaning internal of them, but we won't stop there with that. I'm happy with that. But this is excessive. I'll just get this phone, that'll be my psychiatrist. Okay, so as I say, this is excessive in there. So the thing is, without wasting more money or trying to see, the first thing I always inspect on these is, I'll just get a cloth and show you. Just telltales. I don't think for 1 minute this would have on it, but obviously this will be degreased shortly because we'll be blasting this back. But you've always got to check all your four corners for airline cracks, because if there's any excessive wear in there, unfortunately they do get the occasional crack. So you've got two choices. This is perfect, by the way. That's your stud and your washer, what goes in, and your full amount what controls that shock absorber in there, your cush drive, right? So that sits in there. Now when you look down these and you look to the wear, there's nothing on them. So at this stage, I mean, I'm used to taking these out, but if you're at home sometimes, there can be an absolute pig, because you've got like the bush in between two steels, and you've got to watch you don't drive anything nasty metallic objects down there. If you have got one what's really bad and broken on the outside with excessive wear, you could get it welded up by somebody, and if you wanted to and you didn't want to put these back in, you could go to what I've said to before on a fixed. So if you had to replicate that now in fixed steel by somebody, and then you put that into there, so that's one piece solid, you drill it and we put a tappet in it, a dowel in it. That's the only time when it needs work that I'd go to plan B. Not only for that, if you are the person who, when you're on the clutch, and again I've mentioned it before, and you're in a section and you have got excessive wear that way, left to right, and you're replacing them anyway, it makes it more direct to the back wheel. But it is for the purist that you lose this little bit here, because it just feels like either a clutch judder or it's as if the engine sprocket's been loose. So that's the last resort, but it is a resort if you're also got wear, you're changing it and you're a class rider at this level where it's upsetting you, especially if you've come off modern bikes. 99% of the people it won't. So we'll just go on to the next bit, what to look for. Okay, so just something else to watch here. What I'm trying to save is any costing, but at the same time it's perfect. So I'm saying that they're good. So there's a few things to just take into consideration. A lot of sprockets, sometimes you get excessive wear on here, which when it sits down, we'll use these original ones. When it sits down into it, there's a circlip which holds this in, holds your sprocket. That's the only thing holding it to the hub. That's it. But when it sits in now, you want to bring it down just so it gets onto it. What I do is I get a steel, just anything, ruler, and you can see the height where the circlip goes to there. And if you put something in like a steel and then you feel how tight it is, it needs to be, because it needs that to stop this. So one of the biggest things, if these have been really rubbing away and doing things, something to check for, and I'll see if we can cure this now in real time, because that's excessive, is that, without changing the bushes, is if we didn't spend money on the bushes, which the kits aren't much, what we've got then is we've got these new dowels, which you can buy these separate, again, what bolts to the sprocket. So this lip here is critical, because what this lip does, if it's been wearing away, it gives the sprocket height, which makes the circlip. So that can be one thing. So we put them in anyway, because the gent's getting a new sprocket. The next thing is, and why I've just, this is another customer's from here, just come in for work doing to, but I'm going to show you something, and why I can show you with this sprocket. This down has got a good 2 mil on it, but left to right is perfect. So when I put it in this customer's setup, perfect. So that's fantastic. And the next thing is, of course, with this, you're looking at it, just tap this out, and thinking, right, what can I do to solve the problem? So we don't need that, but that's just showing it. And what that is, the top of these bushes, now you've got to watch it as well, because I have had this. If you look at the top of the bush, the inner is higher. And if you put a steel on it, it should just be the same. It should be raised a little bit. Now what can happen is when people put these in, they haven't had excess heat on it, and they're bashing it down, they can bash these down in as well, plus they can have wear on. And what happens again when you get the sprocket is, I can show you better on this. This then is dropping slightly. You're taking it down, increasing the gap. That's something else to look at. When you're putting the bushes in, make sure you kind of put a right socket and bash it in very gently and try and omit from bashing the inner bit down. That can be another thing. The next one is, which I'll do now, I can see automatically on here that the bushes, they're flat there, they're up there, they're off to one side and down. So I'm just going to put a very fine sanding disc over them and come back to you. Okay, so I'm now just lever them slightly. So we have another plan after that, if not. So remember, this would be having new studs in, but at the moment we're trying to save the bushes. So in we go. So we'll try again. We'll go down now. And now it's level, it's the circlip already. So I've taken up the play. So be right, if I push down now, I'm solid. If it was that excessive and they'd been punched down, the last resort, all you can do if you think you've got so much play on it, is I just usually own a little C-clips like that. They don't fit perfect, but they're such good, they're just a bit thinner than a washer. And then just by, I only put 2 on just to show you. And then by bringing them down like that, that's running extra tight now for it to go in. So once that's on, I'd have it even extra tight. Again, now I've got nothing in the cush, so it's saving the costing and the time to take them out. But this could just be a bit of wear, a bit of movement. The other thing what's caught me out sometime when I fitted some chain and sprockets to one of these is the thickness of your sprocket, because the gauge of that thickness are there. It only has to be a fraction out, and a bit of wear, look where that's been going in there. And of course, again, it's all depth. So I put them on, I put a new sprocket on, spurious set maybe. Usually what customers have brought in, they've just done the eBay thing. Nothing wrong with it. It's a chain and sprocket, isn't it? And probably money for a chain, maybe just a bit. You drop them down, you put it back on, and you're like this. So again, so that's a few little tips on these. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to take these back, take a bit back, show you what they're going to look like. I'll vapor one now of these, and then the next pictures you'll see of me actually finishing them. Whether I get one painted just to show you. So I'll undo these. We've done some photographs. It's basic, you know, as I said, shoe springs, keep them in stock. They're glazed over, they're shiny. Again, this is telling a tale. Look, we've got the old shoes telling you a tale of what's happening, what percentage of that curve is touching when it opens. And it's critical. They were critical when they were new, you know, but no one ever bothered. It's new, it won't happen. But now we're trying a good set of shoes lined up. And you know what? I've had every type of shoe there is, an expense. And to be honest with you, you're taking your wheels out a lot with these after a trial and drying them out. It's only for reasons that the delaminate the cells, the cheaper they get, I think. But apart from that, you know, there's no meat on them anyway. So just by setting them up right, putting them back in, you should have some good brakes. So right, we'll get on with this and come back to you. Right, okay, I've done a bit on the hubs, so I'll show you them in a minute. But I'd like to bounce back to something last week if you're watching. I said there was a Royal Enfield parts in for polishing, so I'm going to just take you over to the dirty side, let you have a quick look where I'm at with them, show you before and after again, and then something else I'm getting up to with that project the customers brought into me. Let's go and have a quick look. Right, so 500 Enfield in for polishing, casings, he stripped it down. Now that's what they're like when they come in. Now they have got a few gouges in them, but he wants to keep them. But that's up to him, but I can take all them out. I'm just showing you. And that's what it's like, what we're up against, so you'll see in next week's video. So all the other parts were like that. And as I say, these look nice when they're polished out and painted in, either in the red or the black in ceramic. So that'll be done. So I'm showing you some of the parts I've done already, look. So if you might just get camera on that. They're coming on. Little rockers, look. And the EFI 500 badge coming on. Thermostat. So yeah, but the task will be with this, just to show you. You've seen what they're coming up like. So he wanted about, I showed him some samples, because I go 1 to 10 in grading on polishing. So it's Ultra Bling, which I'll show you in a minute on the forks of the bike we're working on, which is Benny Phil's. But something I want to show you for next week. So when you're thinking what we can get, so look at this pipe. So out of 10, we'd think that was pretty bad, wouldn't you? Right, so I want you to see this when I've done it, when I finish it, because this is the kind of stuff I like doing. Reason is I'm going to put that in a mild acid, one of my own products. The same product I sell as number 2 in the tank sealers preparation prior to sealers, if necessary. So I dilute it all right the way down. It's got a bit of phosphate in it, and I let that soak for about 2 days before I even go near it. And then I'm going to try and bring that back up to a bling. So might get that on next week. So that's the 500 Enfield. I had a guy in about 3 weeks ago, and he was just saying I had to go on his 350. It's about, I don't know, 6 weeks old, and he said, "What's your honest opinion of it?" You know, because it's a new one in the format. I said, "Well," I said, "I don't know really. I don't know what market it fits. Is it like Born Agains, or, you know, is it? I like a bit of the old British thing, but I thought it felt like a seized bantam while being hit over the head with a dustbin lid. I was like that on night time still when I got off it, but everyone's choice. If he likes it, that's the thing. But I did some ceramic coating on the pipes. He dropped it on side and put a scratch on it. Very similar to the pipes I do for new guzzes. A lot of them are coming off as well in coatings, factory coating. But when it comes off, you can see underneath, and it's still a polished surface, so it's got no key, nothing. They haven't even had any abrasion on them. So yeah, so that's this. So you'll see the rest of it, but I just thought I'd show you that. And one more look on what I'm going to do with it, and see what you think when I finish that one. Right, let's move on. So before we do a drop down on these, just as I put them in a dry blaster to blast them hubs back, I've also done it for a reason. This is just on the brake plates to show you. I've then taken one set and put them in the vapor blaster, because I've just changed the media from really high bling, because I've got a lot of original 70s FS1E stuff coming in the next fortnight, so I need it bling exactly like there was. So I'll show you that in a sec, but just going back to last week, you might have seen the 404 under what was on, with carbs all ripped down. So we've got it built back up. This is a 5,000 RPM problem apparently. I didn't road test it. And again, this is the thing where you do one thing at a time rather than just putting plugs, earthings, everything. So we took it down. The carbs were pretty bad inside. Don't know, modern fuel or just stud. Put it back together. So I'll do you a drop down now of it ticking up. They never sound good on camera, but I can assure you, I went for a road test on it. Customer is coming back on Friday, and see if we've eliminated that problem. As I say, it was beautiful to ride. I went on it today. So at the same time, it had a petrol tank, which was really rusty, as I said, and I've done that with the process I sell, but I happen to do it in the workshop because he brought it in. Obviously, it's on the bike. So I'll show you a drop down of that now, how it's come up when you saw the one last week in rust and the one today finished on the bike. Right, so we're off again. Hubs. Right, so remember, we've got the draw very soon. I think we're running, well, it's getting a bit later now, we're running, Mr. Kirkwood will be in the building soon, who's going to draw this raffle. And the raffle is for the clutch basket for the TLR200 and a set of clutch plates worth 25 quid. I've asked £50 for it. If you're new to the channel, I'm trying to do a few of these where I can work it in, and the £50 goes to the Children's Air Ambulance. It's all a bonus. We might miss it now for a couple of weeks, get a few more ideas, and then come back. So let's see when he walks in, and we'll pull this raffle for tonight's video. Right, let's get on to these brake plates. Sounds like Granville then. It's can tell we don't do retakes much. Right, so let's have a look. So the other reason I'm trying to show you this is because I'm trying to give you some ideas that I'm going to show you blasted ultra fine media. It's like talcum powder, and then if you got that back, you could paint it. I'm also showing you blasted, then vapor blasted, showing you a finish, which the bling, and I'm going to show you a little trick here just to show you how bling it is. It's the same bling as the FS1E kind of colours. So let's have a close look at these now come out. So that's what we started with. This is what we've got. So we've taken this back, ultra fine media, and the hubs are in exceptional condition. On this cut, there's a little bit of glass in that, though it's dry, because I change my media for vapor blasting and change my media for ceramic coating different, but this has got a little bit in it, so it just leaves it not that horrible grey, but ultra fine. If you look at the brake arm close up, and the actual arm now, it's vapored blast back. It's amazing the condition of it, and so nice to build back up like this, and the stud, how it come out of it. So we'll go on to the other hub now. So that's the dry blasting, and I'll just drop down some photographs now of them in the machines. Okay, now I'll go on to same process, dry blasted, then gone into vapor blasted. Now look at the difference. Now what I'm going to show you here is, got my mascot in today, look. She's in every day in office. She 14, she can't walk. She lost her back legs about 4 years ago, front one's about 5 years ago. She's going deaf, got no teeth, and it's like owning your own sandbag, but daft as a brush. Yeah, right. I was going to call her Lucky at one point. I'm glad I didn't. Call her Millie. Look, there's Millie, good lass. Right, so look at this. So we'll compare. Look at the arm now. See the bling compared to that. So that's dry blasting, and this is now onto vapor with ultra fine in it. But look at that finish on that. I don't know if you can get that close up. It might look a bit yellowy, but it's absolutely as brand new. Now, the reason I've done this is as well, while I crossed, I'm just showing you, that was the stud what came out of the brake arm. So you can see the end. Now, these are good when you get them original like this. So couldn't resist going past the polishing machine and polishing that, look. It's little things, it's attention to detail, like the little screw on the speedo. Just little bits, when you put them back together, it makes it so good. And when you look at this, look at all the gear drive. When it passes back through and you put it back together, the end's vapored as well, all immaculate. Now what this could be, I know these had black hubs on, but when you're putting something together like this, it's just an idea, because I think Mr. Benny Phil will be watching. I said he didn't watch telly, but he said he had a telly like this, I didn't realise he meant wide like that. He's so neighbours in the commune, wherever he is, I don't know, association or something. They've got together and they bought him a flat screen, and he'll be watching this tonight. So what I want to show him is the difference if he's having the hubs black, which he is having, if he wanted to leave one with a vapor. So if we go across to the RC1, look, let's just get on a brake plate around here. You know, when you put it back together with black hubs, it's going to have stainless steel split, but that's peen now, and look at that finish. It's like brand spanking new, brand new. So that could be an option. If he doesn't, we'll just do it black with the rest. But I just thought I'd show him that. I'll show you out there what we can do as a finish. And as I say, just by doing little bits like that little screw look and that putting back together for the brake arm, when everything comes back together, it just makes, so there's two options. You know, that won't be an option, that's option ready now. We'll do a media change tomorrow, that's ready for ceramic coating in black. So I'll paint them and show you me painting and putting a ceramic coat on it. But again, if you look back just to the finish of things, you know, they've cleaned it all out, it's in the bush, and then when you put that back together, it's mint, bit of lube on it. So that's another. But the last little trick I'll just show you, polish that screw up for speedo drive. So this is what I do. I get a number 8 bung. If you just have a quick look here, look, just a bung, and I cut it down to 4mm, drill an hole in just in the underside of it, not right the way through. And if you just get here now, look, and have a look at this. Well, look close up that. How cool's that? You like that, don't you? It's little things, little things. You never know if it's ever registered and he wants to put a speedy on it, but look at that as a finish, that grey. The last little thing I'm going to show you how good this this effect is on bling is if you take a ceramic paint, which obviously we'd be painting it through a gun, but I'm just showing you with a brush. So this is the blingiest ceramic coating. So we'll take a part that was dry blasted and I'll paint a bit of it just like that. We're just cheating a bit just to show you. Right, so if you look now here, if you look at that colour, that'll die off in about 20 minutes. That's the bling of that, and that's peen now. So you just wash that with soapy water. It's peened over. So it's ongoing. It's a lovely finish, but it's a difference from like you see it there in dry to vapour. Put that in, bit of a polished thing. Lovely little bung in there in grey look, just blends in. Put your bolt through, polished, and your arm back on it, vapoured again, brilliant. Right, so while we're on, just got another head done. This again's for Mr. Phil. That's done. We're just going to get the top coated because he wants it in the same as that. That one's going out tomorrow morning. Again, eye-lift cam, the bigger valves, ceramic coated top, ceramic coated cam, ceramic coated valve ends, all done. Vitten seals. Yeah, so while we're on these forks, just been putting the other one together today, but this is a bling he wanted. So what I've done here, he bought new stanchions, I've put seals, dust caps in, I'm taking all the marks out what was in. There was only a few, but I think you must admit they are. Let's get them in a light. They're going to look bonny, them on the bike, and obviously it's behind you. That's what we're on with, and it's coming on. So while we're on, Mr. Kirkwood's here, he's brought his gas in, which we did that frame for. And what I did with that one, he wanted a bit, he likes his different finishes. This is the one I chromed it first in powder chromed. We did do a video of him holding up the chrome frame and then did it in a top coat candy red. so when it gets the light on it, it looks really good. So we'll go and have a look. He's just brought it in, and then we'll get on with this draw. So yeah, I think you'll agree that's a nice picture, that, and how that gas is finished. Right. The good thing about doing a raffle, there's a few ways of looking at it like this, for this clutch basket and plates, is there's not many. Now you can put it down to like how many people watch this channel, what happen to want a perfect mint clutch basket, complete with a new set of plates, or you could say channel's just shit and no one watches it. So right, so chances of you winning who put in for that must be pretty good. What have we got? 15, 20?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, probably exaggerated 20. Right, give it a shake, son. Just check it before you, what is it? Because remember, we don't know these people. We might know 2 out of it, maybe. I don't know. Right, pull one out. That's it. Go on, you can have a quick look.
Kenneth Munro.
Kenneth Munro. So if Mr. Munro, you're watching, if you'd just like to get in touch with the office or email us, I'll speak to Valerie on 01723 370399, wherever you're based. As I said, if you're abroad, I'll pay the postage on it, but that's on its way to you. And what we'll do then is, once we've received your £50, and that's all we want, by the way, we don't want 55, 60 quid. We'll put that in the air ambulance on the screen. We'll get the receipt for it and show it next week. In, paid, done, posted out to you, and that's it. So what do you think of these few bits then, Steve? You like a bit of bling, don't you?
Very much. Very nice, shiny.
I bet you'd even like that, but a bit of vapouring.
Yeah, lovely. Like new.
So he's going to have them painted. The idea of just showing it might just keep the up, the brake plate. Don't know. What do you think?
Well, I'd go with the silver and lacquer it personally.
Yeah, well, it can be clear coat lacquer, a ceramic lacquer, which is a lot better, which would just keep the life in it. But then next week, hopefully, we're going to get this deckled up. Then let Steve have a play on it. Just a few modifications. Got the brake arm to do on that to shorten it.
Right, yeah.
Remember, there was a thing we bought one off the site, which was a new brake arm, but when you get on it, you've got to have like clown's feet. So we're just going to shorten it down a bit, and then get this thing fired up. There's a couple of more tricks I've done to it, and I think that's it. Hope you enjoyed that one. So till the next one, Scarborough 1723 370399. If you'd like to subscribe, that's fantastic, and see you in the next one.